know what I forgot? This is a ROM RG-14. It is just a budget 22, and to most people it would be virtually worthless. However, it is not worthless to me. In fact, I find it to be very valuable. This gun is very valuable to me for two reasons. One of them is that this was a gift from my father, and so he passed away, and for that reason alone, I will never sell it, and I'll keep it as long as I live. Not because of any actual monetary value, but because of that reason right there. And the other thing is, it is a twin to a gun that very nearly changed American history entirely. On March 30th, 1981, John Hinckley Jr. used a model identical to this one to attempt to assassinate President Ronald Reagan. He fired all six shots
to his left
in less than 2 seconds from just 15 feet away. One struck the White House Press Secretary James Brady in the head. The second struck a District of Columbia police officer. The third flew over the president and hit the window of a building across the street. The fourth struck a Secret Service agent, Timothy McCarty, in the abdomen. The fifth hit the bulletproof glass of the president's limousine window. And the sixth ricocheted off the armored side of the limousine, entered Reagan's left underarm, and lodged in his lung. So today we're going to look at some of the facts of this gun, why it was built the way it is, and why, after spending some time with it at the range, I have some very specific thoughts on its performance or lack thereof. This gun is a product of its era. After the 1968 Gun Control Act, you could no longer import small budget revolvers like this, and so ROM decided to begin manufacture of these revolvers, or at least their assembly, in Miami, Florida, so that they could no longer be classified as imported. When these were being sold, you could pick one up brand new for about $47. They were always a cheap budget revolver, even back in the 80s when they were made. For example, you can see here how the weld line is still visible down the length of the gun. We've got some rain coming in, so before it gets too bad, I'm going to try to show you what I can of the accuracy and the way this gun shoots, but we may have to cut that short. We'll see. Now, we're out on the range, and you might think that that kind of just erratic shooting from 15 foot away is crazy. Keep in mind that in that case, targets were moving, but also if you shoot this gun, you will understand that the mechanical limitations of the gun itself come into play when trying to fire it accurately. So I was firing with one hand and not taking a lot of time to shoot, but you can see the shots are all over the place, and none of them are actually where they should have been. Could just be I'm a terrible marksman, but if you ever shoot one of these guns, you'll know that is not the only reason. So I'm going to show you how to reload it, and then we're going to shoot it again, and I'm going to take my time and actually see if we can make accurate hits at all with this. So the first thing you do is you spin this dial back, and your cylinder comes out, and you can push each one of your rounds out of the cylinder, like so. Once that's done, grab your bullets, and you place them into the cylinder. Put it in, spin your dial back in. Don't drop it on the ground. Spin your dial back in place, and you're good to go. All right, so now I'm going to take my time with it, and we're going to just slowly squeeze some shots off, and we'll see if the grouping's any better. I imagine it will be, but it is still not a gun you would want to take to any kind of shooting competition. So as you can see, we've done a whole lot better here, and we have our rounds mostly in target. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have to look back on the footage. I think these are our new ones. Might have, that almost looks like a double, so one of them might have been over here. But mostly in our target, but it's still not one that you're just going to be extremely accurate with. We're fixing a rain, so we're gonna have to close this down, but I'm gonna shoot one more time, 6 rounds, and see if we get any better groupings going on here. I'm gonna kind of try to go in between the slow and the fast. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so you can see we got some in target that way, but it's safe to say, and we're fixing to get out of the rain, you get a wide range of shots here. You're not getting really, really tight groupings no matter what you do with this gun. Let's get out of the rain. As you can probably tell, it is raining cats and dogs, or at least water. We were just out on the range. We were shooting at 15 foot. See if I can flip this around where you can see it. And yes, I could take a little more time to be accurate, but if you're really concerned with accuracy, this is not the gun to use. This was at 15 foot. The further you go back, it starts getting bad fast. I would say that if you're past 20 foot from your target, you might want to just take the bullets out of the gun and throw them like rocks, because you'll probably have a better chance of hitting something. It's the kind of weapon that if you really want to be safe, go stand in front of it, because that's probably the least likely place to be hit. It's a joke. Don't stand in front of guns. It's a joke. Now, all that being said, I'm not saying it's a total failure as a pistol. It is what it is. It's a budget firearm. It's a .22, so it's cheap. It's easy to shoot. And if you're just going out and you just want to plink and have fun, and you don't really mind whether or not you hit your target, then this might be the gun for you. If you was talking about self-defense, if you was in a dark alley and you was fixing to be mugged, would I rather have this over nothing? Absolutely. But you better make sure they're really close before you try to fire. So what's the point of a gun like this? It is small. It might fire, and then again, it might not. It's comically inaccurate. Definitely would not want it as a self-defense weapon. It's not really any good as a target pistol. By most standards, it doesn't really have a point. But that doesn't mean it can't be enjoyed. It's kind of fun taking a gun like this to the range and just firing off all 6 shots, and you know what it's going to be. It's going to be. Are you going to hit the bullseye? Probably not. But then again, neither did Hinckley.
This city, America, missed me.
At the end of the day, the Reagan history is a fascinating piece of history, and it's a nice bonus, but that's not why this is in my safe. It's there because it was my dad's. It's a connection to him that's worth more to me than any tight grouping or high-end finish. I can buy other guns and other pistols if I want that, but this one's special to me. Let me know if you've got an old RG or some other budget pistol or anything with a story. Tag me in the comments. I'm interested. Love to hear it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.